Hello, everyone. It's that time of year. Why are you here? Right. Why are you here? Get down from there. Thank you. Okay. It's that time of year again, where once a week I talk to you. You, the one watching. That's right, my little special fluffle. That's what we call the mascot. So, today the topic that I wanted to talk about, well, like, you know, there's always tons of topics, some of them more relevant than others, but this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for like a pretty long time now, because it's based around my just my experiences in general, and it's a question that people have asked a lot over the years. My hand's dying, ignore that. And that's basically like there's been like three major questions that rotate around people, especially through my ASMR channels and over the years when I used to do ASMR on Twitch. And it's basically like, what got you into ASMR? How do you do ASMR? And how do I do ASMR? And I have answers to all of them, as long as you want to listen to my own experiences and stuff like that. I think I'm pretty decently established in the ASMR just business in general. I'm a decently established creator, at least on the YouTube scene. I used to be really close with the ASMR community over on Twitch, but then I stopped doing ASMR on Twitch. So I mean, I still have friends, but I don't know any of the new faces that are over on, you know, Twitch. But basically, first, I'm just going to talk about how did I personally get into ASMR, and like, do I even like ASMR myself? The funny thing is, so there's basically two different types of ASMR. There is your traditional ASMR, and there's your like roleplay ASMR, both of which are pretty different, to be honest. When it comes to the traditional ASMR, that's the thing that I've always enjoyed and loved. That is my favorite ASMR. It helps me sleep at night sometimes. It makes me happy. It makes my ears happy. I can get tingles from them. And very good. We like it a lot. Especially my favorite kind ever is non-native American speakers. So basically, I like hearing cute Japanese boys or girls whispering into my ears, and I can't understand the damn word they're saying, but it makes me happy because if you couldn't tell by, you know, the anime face, I'm a weeb. I'm a weeb inside, so I may not be able to exactly understand what they're saying or what they're doing. Their words make me happy. What they do to their, like, my ears makes me happy. And at the end of the day, I'm a happy bunny boy when I am listening to traditional ASMR. Now, roleplay ASMR. I've never really liked that. I can't listen to it on my own. While I can do it myself, you know, I can really get into it and, you know, play the characters and stuff like that. I don't listen to that stuff. I don't listen to like, a mommy calls you a good boy, or yandere man 57 kidnaps you and feeds you alphabeti spaghetti for dinner tonight. I don't really like the roleplay stuff personally. Like, I don't like listening to it because like what ASMR is to me is like the traditional ASMR where they're like doing stuff to my ears, not like reading a script to me, pretty much. I mean, of course there's sound design and stuff like that, and people who do roleplay scenarios, I mean, like that's pretty much what I'm kind of based off of. It's like roleplay scenarios. Like, I respect it. I do. It's just not something that like I'm like never gonna get a tingle from a roleplay scenario, because ASMR is almost never the focus of a roleplay. Like, it's very rarely is there going to be like traditional ASMR as the focus of a roleplay ASMR, which, you know, like there are some cases where it is. Like, for example, my alchemy ASMR is like the roleplay stuff. A lot of it is traditional because, you know, you got the mortar and pestle, you got the fun little grass noises, and the roleplay part of it is basically introducing my world to you and kind of explaining everything that's happening that we're doing to give you a visualizer as you get the audio sounds of like the mortar and pestle and stuff like that. So there are some scenarios that do have traditional ASMR, but I prefer just the point blank, simple traditional ASMR. And when it came to how did I get into ASMR, when I was a very young bun, it used to be the meta, the typical, what you do in high school, what you do in like middle school is ASMR is cringe, it's weird, it's gross. And I was quirky. I was built a little different. So what I used to do is I would basically, I used to stream back in my day. I was a League of Legends streamer. I streamed to my nice like 2 viewers that were like my cat and myself as I, you know, viewed my own stuff. I didn't have anyone watching me, which is fine. I mean, like it still gave me like the experience of streaming. So, but one of the things I loved doing was torturing both the 2 people that watched me, my cat and myself, and also my friends that, you know, sometimes are in the call with me and sometimes I do it off of call and stuff like that with like ASMR, whether it be like ASMR cracking open a cold one with the boys or like an hour of like anime girls breathing into your ear. And it was basically for the main goal was to basically kind of like troll my friends or troll chat or like just having this thing that's known to be cringe on the background as I do my own quirky stuff. Because I was always funny. I was funny. Laugh. So some of them really didn't like it, but over time I kind of had to like tell myself this is only a joke. It's ironic that I am doing this. And then it turned unironic, and it turned out that I started just listening to it on my own, trying to hide behind the gaze that like I am doing this ironically, even though I'm listening to it just by myself, enjoying it by myself, but it's ironic. Eventually I came out of the ASMR closet and I just realized that I liked ASMR, and then I just listened to ASMR. I found my favorite ASMR artists and stuff like that. I first started off with some flesh tubers, which is basically real life people. I call them flesh tubers because they're gross. And then I eventually went over into VTubers because there was a point in time where I hated VTubers because I was in denial. Who would have known that's what I turned into? I mean, it fit the most for me anyway. I was the biggest weeb. I would have loved VTubers. I could have been on that scene so much. Like I was an anime editor before, you know, like I was a whole like VTuber and stuff like that. So like it was way up my alley, and I am just an asshole that doesn't like things that are popular. I have learned that things are popular most of the time for a reason, and I've gotten over that a little bit now. Like I will watch things even if they're popular because, you know, they're probably popular for a reason. Anyway, so that's the story of how I got into ASMR. But how did I get into doing ASMR? Well, fun fact, I used to be a manager before I was so many things before I was a VTuber, huh? I used to be a manager for other VTubers before I was a VTuber. And those VTubers, the biggest one being Line Chew, was, and you know, an ASMR person. They did ASMR videos, and I would make the thumbnails for, I would record the videos and edit the audios for all of Line Chew's ASMRs, as well as manage him for other things. And basically I liked ASMR. I knew how to edit ASMR. I knew how to make thumbnails for ASMR. I knew how to make titles for ASMR. I knew what keywords worked for ASMR, at least on YouTube. Not Reddit. I don't touch Reddit. I don't know. Reddit's scary. Reddit is scary. But I knew how to do everything ASMR, except I just didn't do it myself. And then once upon a time, me being the young bun myself, at one point in time, I was espresso depresso, and my friends all got together, that being like Line Chew and a few others, and they just randomly gifted me. It was a complete surprise, and it like actually made me very, very happy, made my day, made me happy that I have such good friends. They just straight up bought me a 3DO mic, the fancy ear mic. And then I was like, yeah, sure, fuck it. I mean, I literally have the fancy ear mic. I know how to do everything. I might as well make ASMR myself. And then I made ASMR myself, and here we are. So basically I had all the knowledge and I had all the tools, so I just did it. And now this leads to, how do you do ASMR? How should you do ASMR? Well, there's a few things. One, it depends on what kind of ASMR you want to do. And you know, each of whatever you decide to go for, that depends on like what kind of mic, for example, you would need. So there's basically like two kinds of mics, and both mics can like have upgrades. If you want to do ASMR roleplay, where it's not traditional ASMR, it's more of just the roleplay stuff, you can use your basic bitch, any kind of mic you want, as long as it sounds decent. It doesn't have to be a fancy ear mic, it doesn't have to be binaural, because most of the time, if anything, that fucks with things. When it comes to roleplay ASMR, sound effects are how you set the tone. You have an ambient track in the background. Anytime you do fucking anything, you make a sound effect. If someone's pushing someone, you add a cloth ruffle sound effect. If someone is walking, you add a walking sound effect. If they're walking in an empty room, you add an echo to that bitch. You basically, it's when it's not traditional, it's less about the actual like sounds. It's more of what you do with them and the story you're telling. So like for the yandere ASMRs, I always make sure to have like a kind of dark, gloomy, like cave-like ambiance. And then, you know, depending on the place that we're in, there will be like changed noises in the background, and I always make it so I shift, like if you could, it's mostly in like the left ear or like the right ear, and those are probably the wrong ears, but I don't know, I'm bad at that. And like there's just a lot of little things going on while I vocalize the story, and you know, I talk to you and I'm like, I go into my voice. You can use different voices and stuff like that. So if you use a darker voice like this, then you can do something like that. Or if you want to use like a little child, like, well, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a child. You can just be really sad, and then you go like this, and you can do something more like that. You can have different characters, you can do different things, you just do stuff with your voice, experiment with your voice. It's basically kind of like voice acting. Role playing is like voice acting if you care. And you do different stuff, and you do different voices. You can do yourself, you can be yourself. You can literally be like, I have some ASMRs where I'm literally just talking about League of Legends. Like just straight, just talking about League or taxes. I've talked about taxes before. You can do anything you want. I personally have like deep lore. I have lots of lore. You know this. You've had it shoved down your throat enough times, where it's like, I like telling stories. Who would have thought? So a lot of times I try to keep my things like continuity. Like I try my best to keep continuity throughout all of my videos. The yandere ones are the only ones that are a little rough to keep continuity, especially if I'm like kidnapping people. So I have like basic, it's complicated, but continuity is pretty plug, especially if you want to make your own world, your own setting. Like ASMR can be a great way to tell your stories. And that's kind of how I got the basis from my story. And I added it on, and now I have it exactly, like I have literally like a 50-minute video just summarizing my lore. And then the other ASMR you can do is traditional ASMR, where you're more like, it's less of the effects in the story, and it's more of what are you doing to the ears? What are you doing to the ears? And that's where you would get the fancy, like, the fancy ear mic. Something that you can do if you can't afford the fancy ear mic. Fancy ear mic is about $400 American dollars. That's how much they are. And you can get an XLR one. I would suggest XLR. $400 is kind of like the baseline. From there you can upgrade. The next one is like, I think like $800, and the one above that is like $2,000. And then the big boy of the ear mics is, there's like a dummy head mic that's like $10,000. That's like the top end. That's the Newman, like, that's the Newman something. It's just like a dummy head. You've seen it. That's the good shit. That's expensive though. And then, you know, you can also set up like two Blue Yeti mics and then just having one be the left ear and one be the right ear, but it won't, you know, it doesn't have the ears, but it's still not bad, especially if you want to just do like bassy kisses and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's what Yuto does. Yuta Cola, I think that's what they do. I'm not entirely sure, but like, so basically when it comes to the major difference is really like binaural, which is the traditional, versus like mono stereo. I don't know what to call it. And like the binaural is like, you know, doing stuff to the ears, while the role play is basically telling a story. You could write a script or you can do improv. My stuff's improv. This is improv what I'm doing right now. I don't like the only time I do scripts or read scripts is when I'm doing collabs, and that's because you need to be on the same page of everyone. And also a great way to grow your channel as an ASMR channel specifically is collabs. And most of the time, if you have your like a script ready and everything ready to go, and you show that you're serious and you show that you're actually putting your all to it, like literally just go to like some of your favorite ASMR people and email them saying, I have this entire script, I'll do everything myself, just, yeah, would you like to collab with me? It's a lot less taboo to like email an ASMR person and ask to collab with them than it is to like collab or go into someone's Twitter DMs that you've never seen before. It's like a lot of ASMR people know that we haven't met the other ASMR people, so it's like it's as long as you're being serious and you're kind of genuine, then it's like it's fine. We all need that sometimes, because you're getting new faces to the channel and stuff like that. It's a help for sure. That's why you've seen me collab with a bunch of people on, you know, like the ASMR YouTube. However, I like never collab on Twitch, which I'm starting to get out of my shell and starting to do that more. It's like I feel like for ASMR, a lot of times you kind of do need to collab. You don't have to, but it's definitely a big help. I can't tell you how many people have met me through like Line Chew, Dude That's Wholesome. I have had so many people come to me through Dude That's Wholesome. You know, a few people came to me through Kami, like Nico even, or they were Flower Boy at the time. But like, you just get people and they stick around if they like your content, and you know, that's basically you've shown yourself to them. It's up to you to show that you make content that's worth sticking for. I'm trying not to ramble on for like 40 minutes like I typically do, so if you have any questions, you can always comment them in the comments below. I'll answer any question. I will look at the comments, I promise you, and I'll answer any like genuine serious comment that you have about ASMR, whether it be how I started, what I think about. Oh no, I'm broken. Okay, great. Here, let me. I'm bringing back. You'll have to talk for me. So basically, if you have any questions, make sure to ask. Of course, I'd be happy to answer it. That is perfect time for me breaking. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming over. I am a professional YouTuber, of course. You could tell this is very highly edited. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Any comments, make sure to leave them below. I'll answer anything that you have, as long as it's like, you know, it's like, I mean, I'll probably even answer meme questions, to be honest. And also, I do have a question for you. How did you find me? How did you find my channel? Like, was it through getting recommended on Twitch? Was it from a different ASMR creator? Was it from like, how'd you find me? Where'd you find me? Was it like recommended? Was it recommended on YouTube? Was it, you know, something that you searched up? Was it just a different person? I am very curious. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like, and if you haven't subscribed already, then, you know, make sure to subscribe, as long as you like my content. And thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you so much for listening. And this time I got the video to be under 20 minutes. Oh, look at me go. I'm not speaking on for hours. Maybe people will actually like watch the entire thing now. Okay, bye everyone. If you know, you would kind of be able to see me like waving my hands if I was waving my hands, but I'm not. Bye.